Welcome to the Taiwan language episode, a podcast for learning and insights in Mandarin and Taiwanese. I'm your host, Yasmin. In the previous episode of the story, there is a continuation. The story starts with the Cold Food Festival, which was established by Duke Qingming to honor his royal minister Jie Zhitui. The day of Jie Zhitui's death was set as Cold Food Festival, where fire was banned and people could only eat cold food. This tradition eventually evolved into what we now call Qingming Festival, a time for ancestor worship and tomb sweeping. Qingming itself was originally one of the 24 solar terms. In ancient times, they didn't have a precise clock, so they divided the year into 24 segments based on the sun's movement. Qingming specifically marks the arrival of spring and warmer weather. Before Qingming, there is the Cold Food Festival, which happens a day or two earlier, and also the Tomb Sweeping Festival. Because these holidays were so close, they eventually combined into what we call Qingming. Along with the addition of a Children's Day, this is why in Taiwan the Qingming holiday is at least 2 to 3 days long. When we talk about Qingming, the older generation thinks about honoring ancestors. Students look forward to the break. And for me, it's all about eating spring rolls. Spring rolls are simple, a thin wrapper filled with all sorts of ingredients you love. That thin wrapper is what we call 润饼皮 or spring roll skin. When I was a child, my mom would always go to the market to buy it. And these skins are handmade, so the market will be packed with people lining up, sometimes even outside the market. They will sometimes run out of stock, and you will have to go around the village to find some. Despite how thin the wrapper looks, making it is a delicate process. A skilled master will spread a small spoonful of batter into a hot pan, making sure it spreads evenly. During this, they will also need to remove any extra flour using a wet dough ball, making the wrapper smooth and delicate. After a few seconds, the master will lift a perfect 润饼皮. It is elastic and chewy, which is crucial for when we feel it. I believe this is why these skins cannot be mass-produced by machines, even though you can find a pancake skins or scallion pancake skins in stores. Next, we talk about the rich fillings for the spring rolls. In my family, there are over 10 ingredients we prepare, and the process can be tiring. But luckily, with many kids, everyone pitches in to help. Our spring roll fillings including bean sprouts, cabbage, shredded tofu, eggs, noodles, carrots, cucumber, chicken, pork, and sliced pork belly, along with the herbs like cilantro, celery, and garlic shoots, and topped with peanut powder and sugar powder. We layer those fillings into the 润饼 skin, 润饼皮. Wrapping the ingredients also requires skill. The first layer is usually the dry ingredients like noodles, and the wetter ones like bean sprouts and cabbage go last. This is because these ingredients release water, which may make the wrapper soggy and tear. We sprinkle peanut powder and sugar powder before wrapping, which enhances the flavor. Preparing all these ingredients is no easy task. Everything had to be cleaned and shredded. I used to enjoy mixing the peanut powder and sugar powder, as the smell was irresistible. When you mix the two, the sweetness really comes out, and it was a joyful experience for me as a child. Each ingredient serves a different purpose in the spring roll. Some add texture, others add fullness, and the herbs add special flavor. When combined with the peanut and sugar powder, they bring out the natural sweetness of all the ingredients. The end result is a delicious spring roll that's unforgettable. It makes me wish every day was Qingming Festival just to enjoy these flavors. Living away from my hometown today, and I miss the spring rolls from the south. And I once tried the spring roll in the north, but found it did not compare to the ones from home. But every place has its own culture, and comparing that isn't necessary. After all, the best memories are those from my childhood. So what is your happiest memory, and what was the scene like? You can share your thoughts and write to me any small pieces of your memory. So now it's our Taiwanese vocabulary time. From our topic today, there are a lot of ingredients that could be filled in the 润饼皮. And now let's learn some ingredients vocabulary. First, 稻菜, bean sprouts, 稻菜, 稻菜. Next, 蛤蜊菜, cabbage, 蛤蜊菜, cabbage, 蛤蜊菜. 红菜頭, carrot, 红菜頭. 桂仔年, small cucumber, 桂仔年. 雞肉, chicken, 雞肉. 豬肉, pork, 豬肉. 鹽水, cilantro, 鹽水. 芹菜, celery, 芹菜. 酸辣, garlic sprouts, 酸辣. Okay, now let's review today's vocabulary. 稻菜, 蛤蜊菜, 紅菜頭, 桂仔年, 雞肉, 豬肉, 鹽水, 芹菜, 酸辣. Alright, that wraps up what I had to share today. And thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I would really love to hear your thoughts and comments if you are enjoying this podcast. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you will not miss any updates. In this podcast, I share stories about Taiwan's culture, history, and even a Taiwanese perspective on the world. If you find this interesting or helpful, I would be so grateful if you could share it with your best friends and family. Also, please check out the show notes below for details about this episode and some useful links. If you would like to support this podcast, feel free to click those links or consider sponsoring. It really helps me keep making great content for you. Thanks again for tuning in, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.